everyone, it's Marion here, and in recognition of World Literacy Day, Literacy Awareness Day, which was a couple of days ago, I thought I'd give you a bit of background on the transition and what happens in a child's language system as they're learning and growing and learning language and literacy. And so for the first 5 years of a child's life, typically they spend their time at home with parents in kindies and daycares learning oral language. So what that means is they're learning to speak and learning to listen. And by about 5 years of age, children typically have acquired all of the language learning foundations they need that would mimic an adult's language system. So while they still have more words to learn and deeper vocabulary and maybe some more complex sentences, they've got all usually the foundational aspects of language by around 5 years of age. Now what we know is once that initial language learning period is done, kids often, usually, enter formal schooling. And there's a transition that happens. And so children go from learning language through their environment to now needing to use that oral language to be able to learn to read and to write. And that's where learning literacy starts. In the first few years of formal education, children are using their speaking and their listening skills that they've developed to learn about the alphabet, to learn about letter-sound correspondences, and how to play with and manipulate sounds and letters to encode and decode, which is to spell and to read. And so they spend a few years in the early years of school really learning how to achieve their literacy skills. So we go from learning language to using language to learn literacy. After about mid-primary, there's a second transition that happens, and kids go from the learning literacy phase into now needing to be able to use their literacy to learn language. And so from mid to upper primary and on into high school and adulthood, we then go into a phase of using our reading skills and using our writing skills to explore the world. We might be reading cool novels that take us away into space with fantasy and aliens and exploring ideas that we would never have access to in our natural everyday environments. And so kids enter a phase where they need to have strong literacy skills in order to be able to continue to advance their language skills. And so we have 3 phases. We have our oral language development phase where kids are learning to speak and learning to listen. And as they head into those first few years of primary school, they're now needing to utilize that strong foundation of oral language to be able to start to learn literacy. And then we need to be able to use those literacy skills that we develop and we acquire to be able to continue to learn and express language as we grow and develop. And so hopefully that gives you a bit of an overview of how literacy and language fit in together, and what you can do at home as parents is absolutely focus on creating a beautiful oral language environment for your kids. So understanding that the language environment that we have access to at home, the way that we talk, the books that we read, the explorations that we share and talk about and create dialogue around together, all form part of that oral language foundation that allows for strong literacy learning. So hopefully that's helpful. Happy World Literacy Awareness Day.